Alright, hey guys, welcome back to the channel to another video. I've got a pretty good one for you today. We're going to be replacing the neutral safety switch in my third Gen Tacoma. Now, I'm yet to see any actual decent videos out on this. Now, if you're having issues getting your truck out of park, into your different gears, you have problems with your cruise control not working, and then your drive light will not illuminate. That's usually the main telltale sign that this sensor is actually going. And for me, it's been kind of a weird intermittent issue where if there's enough moisture in the air, say for instance this winter, when everything started to thaw and there was, everything was starting to heat up and there's all the moisture, basically I was having a hard time getting in and out of drive. Sometimes I'd have a hard time getting into park or getting out of park, and I couldn't figure out what it was. And after basically looking at some of the scan data, now for some reason this didn't trigger a check engine light or anything, but my drive illuminator would sometimes not illuminate, and then cruise control wouldn't work. And then other days, like, next day I go to drive the truck, everything's perfectly fine. So I was like, man, what the hell's going on? I was like, I really hope like mice didn't get in there and start chewing on wires or destroying, something, because I was like, that's going to be an expensive bill. So there's really not any good videos on this, but I can tell you on the third Gen Tacomas, this is in a bitch of a spot. The whole reason it really sucks is you have the thermostat and then the transmission auxiliary cooler right there, and you have some of the cooling lines, and then you have basically I'll show you guys in video, but you have your exhaust and a couple other things. So this is gonna be a pain in the ass to replace. Probably gonna take me at least an hour or two to replace, and it's only, I finally, after about fucking 10 hours, one 22mm bolt, and then I wanna say either a 12 or a 14 that goes here. Now, there probably is some sort of alignment or adjustment I will have to do, which is probably why they give you a little bit of play here with this. I kind of wish that it was just a, fit in, direct fitment, but I understand that, this probably needs some adjustment because each transmission is probably slightly different with how the shifter cable's set up. So basically, we're gonna install this sensor. Hopefully this fixes my issue. And if you look at this sensor, basically the problem with it is it's an aluminum housing with basically a plastic bezel that goes around it, and this part mates up against the transmission, and then this actually rotates, this assembly right here, and that's basically what indicates drive, park, neutral. Basically right up in here, see where that, you can almost see it, let's see, yeah, basically it's right up in there. See that little green sticker? It's up behind these coolant lines, and you can actually see, if we look right through there, see that's where that little jam nut is. Catch you guys, I'm sure I've got a lot of useless video. So now right there, that is the shaft that goes all the way across over to the shifting linkage. So right there, and then up above that you can see the nut right there with the bolt. That's what we gotta undo next, and then we should be able to just unplug the sensor and pull it out. Let's see, yeah, there you go. You can see the nut and the sensor right there. Just gotta remove that now. Can't wait. This has been a fun job. Feels like a 14, so that's what I'll start with. And if a 14 Doesn't work. Nope. Try a bigger one. Yeah, the sensor wire. You can see the tab, but it's right next. Man, this is, whoever fucking put this here, like these lines could have gone 2 inches that way, 2 inches the other way, 2 inches in any other fucking direction. Okay, let's see. See if I can maybe get my light to be wedged up in here somewhere. There we go. Well, look at that, guys. All right, let me grab my phone. Guess you guys probably haven't been able to see shit. Okay, so see that little black connector right there? Well, this fucking coolant line, which is right here, that goes to your transmission cooler. Look at where that little plug is. It's actually a hard line right up there, which you can see. It sits right at the hard line. I'm gonna have to take a pair of, maybe a flathead screwdriver, and try and undo that connector. I don't know how the hell I'm gonna fucking get to that, but yeah, as you can see, I'm gonna have to try and loosen that nut. That's gonna be fun. Can't wait for that. 10 out of 10, this fucking job blows. Do not recommend. Okay, let's give this a try. Alright, so we're doing a little bit of digging. I think at this 7/8, it's gonna be pretty close to the size that I need. Alright guys, so you see that piece right there? That slides over your basically shift linkage connecting rod, and it basically rust welds itself to itself. So now I'm trying to figure out how to get that free so I can actually slide off the sensor. So that's where I'm at. It's been about an hour probably of swearing and no fucking luck. Now I see why nobody's made a video on this, because this job sucks. Okay guys, so quick update. This has turned into the nightmare of all projects. You see our nice little sensor right there, still not coming off. So what I did is I actually, you probably can't really see it, but I have this little pry bar behind there. I'm gonna hook up a wire to this eyelet, and hopefully, if everything goes according to plan, I might have to do that hole if this eyelet ends up cutting the cable, but basically my plan right now is to attach it to that and then start pulling on it, because I've been at this for a couple hours, have not been able to get that out. It's just seized to that freaking thing. I took my heat shield off. I actually have just duct taped these hoses out of the way because it was getting real annoying having to hold them. I don't have any super, you know, they're not under a lot of stress or anything. I just have them very lightly kind of duct taped over just so I can fit my hand up in there and not have to pull them back. So I took off my heat shield. I did get that bracket out, and then I've just got the wire for my O2 sensor just kind of tucked away. And I'm gonna buy some new nuts for my heat shields because they are terribly rusted. Like, you know, I don't know if you can see that really, but yeah, it's terribly rusted. I'm probably gonna put some anti-seize on all the bolts too, just so next time if I have to replace this sensor, it's gonna be easy. But yeah, I guess we'll see how it goes, hooking the cable up through here and then kind of yanking on the thing. I'll probably show you guys that. you know, there's just no room. There's literally zero room to really get behind that thing. But I managed to get my little pry bar just wedged behind there where I think I should be able to pull on it. Hopefully it doesn't come flying out, but we'll see. Okay. Also, I love how everybody on YouTube that I've seen just says, oh, replace your neutral safety switch sensor. That's all it is. But nobody actually shows how to replace the thing. And that is probably because this is a real bitch of a job on the 3rd Gen Tacomas. So, and the annoying part about this switch is if you get a neutral safety switch open, like I did once, you cannot start your truck. So that makes it real fun. As you can see, basically made myself my own little handle to pull on. Got the little pry bar here. And so now what I'm going to do is fish the pry bar through here. Now I'm probably going to go underneath this. All right, so as you can see, I've been doing some thinking, and if you look, that transmission shaft goes pretty far in, even past where these pieces are. So what I ended up doing is taking my nut, threading it back on, and I'm gonna basically put a screwdriver underneath this, and I'm just gonna keep hammering the shit on this thing until it pulls it out, because I don't think there's any other way to pull this stupid fucking thing out. So, yep, that's what we're gonna do. I'll try and get you guys some video of it. Don't know how well that's gonna work out, but we'll fucking see. Okay guys, so update. I finally, after about fucking 10 hours, got this apart. Now, this right here is beautiful galvanic corrosion where steel and aluminum meet. They essentially weld themselves to each other. So, yeah, this is a terrible fucking design, because basically I literally had to drill and hammer the shit out of this to actually get it to snap in half in order for me to install the replacement part. And trust me, when I go to do this, there is going to be a generous amount of anti-seize put in here, as well as the shaft that this goes into. I am going to sand down like you've never sanded something before, so that there is zero possibility that this is going to happen again. Because holy fuck, this was a terrible job. There's very few jobs I will say let the dealership do. I will let them tear apart my engine or my transmission, because I might be able to tear apart the top part of my engine, because I've done that before on my old Honda Civic, but I will not touch a transmission or the lower bottom end of an engine. But yeah, this job, such a pain in the ass. I'll probably give you guys some tips and tricks once I start the reinstallation, but right now I just want to get everything cleaned up. Holy shit. All right, so we finally got the new sensor in. As you can see right there, still gotta go through and adjust it, but I'll give you some tips before I reassemble everything. So basically, you're gonna want to come in through here with your wrench, and there's going to be a 12 millimeter right there, which is going to go to the hard lines for these two hoses. You're gonna want to undo that because you won't be able to fit your sensor in without it. Then you're gonna want to undo your O2 sensor because it's gonna be in the way the whole time. That's a 22 millimeter. Trust me, that just undo it. Don't do what I did and start by undoing as little as possible and then fucking yourself. But then you're gonna want to undo your heat shield that's up here. Definitely recommend replacing those nuts and putting some anti-seize on them. And then once you do get everything apart, you're going to want to sand the shit out of that shaft that basically slides through the sensor, and then also put some anti-seize on it so it doesn't seize up. I'm probably not even going to bother putting on the lock washer just because it's already so tight. You don't need the lock washer. Like, trust me, you don't need it. And let's see, anything else? There's 2 other bolts I have that I need to try and remember where they went, but oh, you know what they did? They went to the bracket that's here that basically connects like there and then down there, some down there. Yep. All right, we're getting there. All right, guys. So, final update. Mission complete. Everything shifts good as new, not sticky at all. As you can see, I basically took out about every fucking tool I've got, but I got her off. You know it's a bad project when you're trying to use a strap to remove a small little sensor, but yeah, she's all back together. Fucking pain in the ass. I gotta pick up a few things, but yeah, and then I don't want to hear anybody say they need a garage because I'm fucking laying here on the goddamn driveway doing this. But yeah, the annoying part about the neutral safety switch is if the thing does an open circuit like mine was, sometimes you can't start your truck. And let's just say that's a shitty situation, especially when you're 2 hours away snowboarding. But I have to say the iPhone at night does some fucking great video. All right, gonna pick all this shit up and then call it a night, finally. And guys, if you liked the video, subscribe to the channel and comment down below any questions you've got or what you guys want to see next. And come on, I probably just devoted about 12-15 hours to this, so come on guys, just subscribe to the channel. I just went through fucking hell for you to make this video. Now I see why there's no YouTube videos out there on, hey, this is how to replace the neutral safety switch on your 3rd gen 2016 Tacoma. The whole reason there's no videos is because this is a bitch of a fucking job.